For the next speaker, this is actually going to be a video recording that we'll be playing. And so the next speaker is Brahmachari Sharanji. He has been a spiritual aspirant for more than 20 years. He was in the Ramakrishna mission for many years before he came to study with Pujya Swamiji in Anakatti. After finishing his course in 2013, he was in Guyana for more than a year teaching Sanskrit and Indian heritage to students of Saraswati Vidya Niketan in Guyana. After he returned to India, he started looking after the bookstore at Asha Vidya Gurukulam. He is also conducting online classes in Sanskrit, Vedanta, and chanting to students all over the world. In 2019, he helped coordinate and conduct the 108-day Bhagavad Gita course under the express guidance of Acharya Swami Sadatmanandaji. He is now currently teaching Sanskrit for the full long-term course to students in the Jan 2020 batch at Anakatti. The topic of this video is going to be an introduction to Prakarana Grantha of Shankara Bhagavadpada. Hari Om.
Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada Gurave Sarvalokanam Vishaje Bhavaroginam Nidhaye Sarvavidyanam Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavat Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutho Vande Bhagavanto Punah Punaha Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpadam Shankaram Lokashankaram Sakshat Krutam Dayanandam Paramarthasvarupinam Tattvajnana Prashastaram Pranatosmi Parampadam Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai Om Shanti 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 Ajnanantar Gaganapatita Natma Vidyopadeshaihi Tratum Lokan Bhavadavashika Tapapachyamanan Muktva Maunam Vatavitapino Mulato Nissaranti Shambhor Motischarati Bhuvane Shankaracharya Rupa A class on the introduction to the Prakarana Grantha. In general, and in particular, the introduction to the Prakarana Granthas by Shankara Bhagavad Pada. We have many Vedanta Grantha. In the tradition, we have many Vedanta Grantha written by various authors at different times. There are three Granthas which are given much importance, and the study of the three texts is the inquiry into the truth of the ultimate reality. These three texts are popularly known by the name Prasthanatrayam. Prasthanatrayam. Under Prasthanatrayam, we have Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, and Brahma Sutra. These three texts are considered to be the main source of the teaching of Vedanta, and therefore they are called Prasthanam. The word Prasthanam means Prasthana Grantha, means primary text. Since they are three in number, therefore it is called Prasthana Trayam. Prastiyate anena iti prasthanam. The text by which one pursues Atmajnanam, the inquiry into the study of Atma, the reality, the Tattvam, that is called Prasthanam. Tattvajnanam yasmin iti prasthanam. That is the text which are based on the knowledge of Tattvam, the truth, the reality. That is called Prasthanam. Vedas are called Shruti. Vedas are called Shruti. And Upanishads are part of the Veda. And they form the end portion of the Veda. So by position, the Upanishads are at the end. Therefore, Upanishads are called Vedanta. Therefore, Upanishads mean the Vedanta, the end portion, and the first and last portion of the Veda, collectively it is called Shruti. Collectively, it is called Shruti. Since we are interested in the study of the last portion of the Veda, that is Vedanta, the end part of the Veda, so by the word Shruti, what we mean is Vedanta. The study of Shruti is the study of Vedanta. Why it is called Shruti? Shruyate iti Shrutihi. That which is heard, that is called Shruti. Heard by whom? The Rishis. Rishis are the people who have received this knowledge as revealed to them by Bhagavan. Therefore, they know. They know the truth. They know the Tattvam. Rishati Janati iti Rishihi. The Rishi knows. The one who knows is called Rishihi. Therefore, what they know, that is this knowledge, this Veda Vidya, this Brahma Vidya revealed by Vedanta is called Arsha Vidya. It's called Arsha Vidya, the knowledge of the Rishis. The knowledge of the Rishis, which the Rishis received from Bhagavan. Therefore, Arsha Vidya is the Pramanam. Is the Pramanam for the knowledge of the ultimate reality. And therefore, this Vidya, as revealed by the Vedanta, they were not written They were not written, they were obtained by rishis. Therefore, it is Apaurishayam. It is Apaurishayam. Apaurusheya Vedanta Pramanam. This Upanishad is the Apaurusheya Vedanta Pramanam, and therefore Upanishads are the first Prasthanam, and therefore Upanishads are known by the name Shruti Prasthanam, otherwise called Shrauta Prasthanam. So Shruti Prasthanam means Upanishad. Upanishads are referred. Shruti Prasthanam. The Vedantas, it is Bhagavachanam. Vedantaha, because many Upanishads are there, they are referred by Shruti Prasthanam. The second one is Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita presents the teaching of the Upanishads in the form of a dialogue between Lord Krishna and Arjuna. And Gita is located in Mahabharata. Mahabharata was written by Vyasacharya. So therefore, Gita is Paurishayam. It is Paurishayam. Vyasacharya presented the teaching of the Upanishad in the form of Gita. Therefore, it is Paurishaya Prasthanam Grantha. Knowledge is not Paurishaya. The text is Paurishaya. Therefore, since the teaching of the Upanishads are remembered by restatements, it is called Smriti Prasthanam. Since Bhagavad Gita recollects the teaching of the Upanishads, therefore Gita is called Smriti Grantaha, Smriti Prasthanam. And Gita is given the status of Prasthanam like Shruti. Therefore, it is called Gita. Why it is given the status? Because the teaching of Gita is not different from the teaching of the Upanishads. Therefore, it is Smriti Prasthanam. And the last one is Brahma Sutra. It is a sutra work by Vyasacharya. In the Brahma Sutra, the teaching of the Upanishads is presented very systematically in the form of the sutras by Vyasacharya. The teaching is not systematically presented by the Upanishads. Therefore, Vyasacharya, through Brahma Sutra, he presents the teaching. And also gives the logical support to establish the teaching. Therefore, Brahma Sutra is a logical analysis of the teaching of the Upanishads. Therefore, Brahma Sutra is called Nyaya Prasthan. Nyaya means logical reasoning. Logical reasoning in keeping with the Shastram. Logical reasoning in keeping with the Shastram. Generally, logical reasoning is done based on the data gained through the sense perceptions. Whereas the Brahma, which is a subject matter of the Shastram, it is not available for perception. Therefore, Brahma cannot be logically proved. We cannot prove logically Brahma. Vedanta doesn't attempt to prove logically Brahma. If it attempts to prove, then it is not the Pramana. What Brahma Sutra does is it gives the logical support. The logical reasoning is only to support the teaching, not to prove the Vedantic teaching, the Upanishad teaching. The logical reasoning are used to prove. The logical reasoning which are used to prove is called Nischayaka Yukti. Yukti means reasoning. The logic which are used to prove is called Nischayaka Yukti. The logic which are used to support, it's called Sambhavana Yukti. Two types of Yukti, Nischayaka and Sambhavana. And here, what the Brahma Sutra does is, it uses Sambhavana Yukti, gives logical support to the teaching of the Upanishad. Brahma Sutra, it ascertains the Tatparyam of the Veda with the help of Sambhavana Yukti. And this Nyaya Prasthanam Brahma Sutra, it has three purposes. Number one, it ascertains the Tatparya of the Vedanta Vakya. Ascertaining the Tatparyam, the teaching of the Vedanta Vakyas. And number two, it presents the limitations of other darshanam, Astika darshanam as well as Nastika darshanam. And number three, you will find the Akshepa and Samadhana. Akshepa by the opponents and answering them. So answering the objection raised by the other darshana and establishing that their objections are wrong. That Brahma Sutra does. Therefore, to study Brahma Sutra, one must have sufficient knowledge of the Upanishads and the Gita. It is generally recommended to study the 10 Upanishads for which the Bhagavad Pada had written commentary and Gita. After studying this, one can study Brahma Sutra. And in the commentary to Brahma Sutra, Shankara Bhagavad Pada, he quotes from the Upanishads and the Gita. Therefore, the knowledge of the Upanishads and Gita is very important for the study of the Brahma Sutra. And all the Upanishads, they have the same commitment. They have the commitment in establishing the same teaching. The teaching is Jiveshwara Aikyam. Jiveshwara Aikyam. And that Brahma Sutra establishes. And Shankara Bhagavad Pada, he establishes the truth. The truth is Advaita. Through his commentary to the Brahma Sutra. Therefore, the study of Vedanta texts culminate in the study of the Brahma Sutra. So therefore, these three are called Prasthana Trayam, the three main sources of teaching. Now, if these three are the main sources, then what is the need? Then what is the need for the Prakarana Granthas? Even though the Prasthana Trayam are the main sources of the teaching of Vedanta, they don't present the teaching in a very systematic manner for the sadhakas, for the students. The teachings are not presented step by step. They are not presented step by step very clearly. Therefore, many acharyas in the sampradaya, they felt the need for independent works presenting the tatparyam of the prasthana in a very systematic manner. And those independent works of acharya in the sampradaya, they are known by the name Prakarana Grantha. And what is a Prakarana Grantha? What is a Prakarana Grantha? Shastraika Desha Sambandham Shastrakaryantare Sthitam Aguhu Prakaranam Nama Granthabedam Vipaschitaha. What Prakarana is defined in this shloka? That is called a Prakarana Grantha which is considered by the Vipaschitaha, the wise people. That is called a Prakarana Grantha, which elaborates on the topics, the different topics of the Shastram. Different topics of the Shastram, and the Prakarana Granthas have a different purpose than the Shastram. The purpose is to make the students understand the prakriya which the Shastram handles to convey the teaching. So different Prakarana Granthas focus on different prakriyas. And Prakarana Grantha, they explain the complex concepts in a very easy, understandable manner. And also explain the terms and terminologies which are employed in the study of the Shastram. Shastram, being a pramanam, produces knowledge. Shastram, being a pramanam, produces knowledge. Whereas Prakarana Granthas, they help in removing the obstacles to the knowledge. The role of Prakarana Grantha is helping in the removal of the obstacles to the knowledge. Therefore, the Prakarana Grantha systematically explains on various topics which are of great help to the students to understand the subject matter presented by the Shastra. And these Prakarana Granthas are of different types. Some Prakarana Granthas, they help in understanding the vision of the Shastram by presenting the topics briefly. Some Prakarana Granthas, they do it very elaborately. The Tattva Bodha, which is generally studied by the beginners, is one of the simple Prakarana Grantha, and it's a beautiful Prakarana Grantha. The knowledge of Tattva Bodha is enough to study the further text. And this Tattva Bodha is said that Shankara Bhagavad-pada wrote it, even though there is a dispute about the authorship. It is said that Shankara Bhagavad-pada is the author. And this Tattva Bodha is the basic text, and it is a book of definitions. All the basic terms of Vedanta, they are defined briefly. Defined very briefly. It not only defines the terms, but also presents the vision of the Shastram. The Jiveshwara Aikyam, it presents Jiveshwara Aikyam. Vedanta Sara, another Prakarana Grantha defining the terms of Vedanta, authored by Swami Sadananda. This Vedanta Sara it's an extension of Tattva Bodha, extended version of Tattva Bodha. What is said in the Tattva Bodha, the same thing will be said in the Vedanta Sara also, but it is an extended version. Viveka Chudamani, another beautiful Prakarana Grantha, which is considered to be authored by Shankara Bhagavad-pada, even though there is a dispute. And this text, Viveka Chudamani, it presents the knowledge of Tattva Bodha in an elaborate way, very elaborately. There are some Prakarana Granthas which help in removing the doubts of the knowledge gained through the Shastra Shravanam. Listening to the Shastram, we get knowledge. At the same time, doubts will be there. Therefore, some Prakarana Granthas, they are very helpful in removing the doubts, and also helping us in understanding the vision of the Shastram. those Prakarana Granthas are called Manana Granthas. They are called Manana Grantha, like Panchadashi, Drigdashi Viveka. All these are the Manana Grantha. Therefore, studying these texts is equivalent to doing Mananam. Equivalent to doing Mananam. And there are some Prakarana Granthas which remove the pratibandha, which removes the pratibandha, the obstacles in enjoying the result of the Shastra Shravanam. What could be the obstacles? The habitual errors. Habitual errors could be the obstacle. They create obstacle to enjoy the vision of the Shastra. Therefore, to remove the habitual errors, one has to dwell on the teaching for a length of time. And there are granthas which are designed for it. And they are known by the name Nididhyasana Grantha. Nididhyasana Grantha. Like the Nirvana Shatkam, a simple Grantha, Advaita Makaranda, Dashashloki. These are simple Nididhyasana Grantha. Therefore, in general, we can classify Prakarana Grantha into two. One is introductory Prakarana Grantha, another one is advanced Prakarana Grantha. Introductory text, they present various topics of Vedanta in a very simple way. The topics are arranged very systematically. And advanced text, they are either Prakriya Granthas, that is dealing with the methodology of the unfoldment of the teaching, like the Panchadashi authored by Vidyaranya is an example for this Prakriya Grantha. In addition to this such Prakriya Grantha, advanced Prakarana Granthas. There are some advanced Prakarana Granthas, and these advanced Prakarana Granthas, they differ from the basic Prakarana Grantha. How it differs? Basic Prakarana Grantha, they deal with the topics of Shruti Prasthanam and Smriti Prasthanam. That is the Upanishads and the Gita. Whereas the advanced Prakarana Grantha, they deal with the topic from Nyaya Prasthana, that is Brahma Sutra. And these advanced Prakarana Grantha, they are known by the name Siddhi Grantha. They are known by the name Siddhi Grantha. And these texts, they ascertain the different topics of Vedanta and establishes the vision of Shastra, like Brahma Sutra. Like Brahma Sutra, it refutes the view of other darshanam. The same way Siddhi Granthas do. And to study Siddhi Granthas, one must have the knowledge of Vedangas like the Vyakaranam. Vyakaranam, grammar is important. And also the knowledge of Tarka, Mimamsa, other branches of knowledge are important to study Siddhi Grantha. Naishkarmya Siddhi by Sureshwaracharya, Advaita Siddhi by Madhusudana Saraswati, Swarajya Siddhi by Gangadharendra Saraswati. All these are Siddhi Granthas, advanced Grantha. And all these Prakarana Granthas, if you take, they start with the prayer. Either in the form of the author saluting the teacher, or the Sampradaya, or in the form of salutation to the Vastu, either Saguna Brahma or Nirguna Brahma. The text starts with the prayers. Without prayer, no text start. And then the author will unfold will present the fourfold introductory points, which are known by the name Anubandha Chatushtayam. By Anubandha Chatushtayam, the student gets information about the text. The reader, before picking up the text, he gets information about the text and he gets connected to the text if he is interested. If he's a student, will be interested, and this information will establish a connection between the student and the text. So the author invariably, in all the Prakarana Granthas, Anubandha Chatushtayam, either directly or indirectly, will be presented. And after presenting the Anubandha Chatushtayam, then the fourfold disciplines, which are the prerequisites for the students of Vedanta, that would be presented. They are called Sadhana Chatushtayam, the fourfold qualifications, the disciplines. Depending on the text, depending on the size of the text, the presentation of these topics will maybe brief or elaborate. What is presented in just one line in Tattvabodha is elaborated in 2 or 3 verses in Viveka Chudamani. And in Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Sara Sangraha, it is elaborated in more verses. Therefore, after Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampatti topic, then there could be the topic of Shariratrayam and Shariratraya Viveka. Like in Tattvabodha, it is presented. In Tattvabodha, it is presented very briefly. Whereas in Viveka Chudamani, it is presented in detail. All the 3 Sharirams are discussed elaborately. Stula Shariram, Sukshma Shariram, Karana Shariram. And also the Viveka, Shariratraya Viveka is done. After Shariratraya Viveka, then the text may deal with Panchakosha Viveka. If it is a bigger text, it will deal with Panchakosha and Panchakosha Viveka. Or some text may stop with Shariratraya Viveka and then go further. The next topic will be Atma Swarupam. After doing the Viveka, then discussion on Atma Swarupam, Brahma Swarupam. And having discussed the Swarupam of Brahma, then the presentation of oneness of Jiva and Ishvara will be there. And this presentation with the support of Mahavakyam. So, Atma Swarupam or Brahma Swarupam is presented, and the next topic will be the Aikyam, Jiveshvara Aikyam, which is the central, the teaching that is presented. This is how the Prakarana Grantha generally presents the topic. And final topic will be Sadhana Phalam. The sadhana is Jnana. What is a Jnana Phalam? Because without the Phalam, nobody will engage in any activity. So therefore, the Phalam also has to be mentioned. What is the Phalam? Jivan Mukti. Jivan Mukti and the Lakshanam of Jivan Mukti. That will be presented. This is the general method of presentation of the topics, which you will find invariably in all the Prakarana Grantha. There may be some more topics also, but this is briefly, this is you will find. And this Prakarana Grantha, these Prakarana Grantha can be in the two formats. That is, Prakarana Grantha could be either in Gadya form, Gadya Rupena, that is in prose form. It is in a prose form. Or some Prakarana Granthas, they are in Padya Rupena, in the poetical, metrical form. So it can be recited. Tattvabodha, Vedanta Sara, these are in Gadya. Gadya Rupa, prose form. Whereas Aparokshanubhuti, Viveka Chudamani, Atma Bodha, all these granthas, they are in verse form. And in particular, Viveka Chudamani, you will find verses in different meters. And in Upadesha Sagasri, we find both prose as well as poetical verses are there. And sometimes this Prakarana Grantha also is in the form of stotram, like Dakshinamurti stotram. And we have a number of such text. For example, Ekashloki. Ekashloki is there. Ekashloki is which has got only one verse, one shloka. And Dashashloki. Dashashloki has got 10 shlokas. Shatashloki. Shatashloki. Shata is 100. It has got 100 verses, shlokas. All these are in the form of shloka. So they are also Prakarana Granthas. And the Shankara Bhagavad Pada, in addition to writing commentaries to Prasthanatrayam, he had written many Prakarana Grantha. Even though the authorship of some of the texts are doubted, but the tradition attributes the majority of the Prakarana Granthas to Shankara Bhagavad Pada only. To name a few of the Prakarana Granthas by Shankara Bhagavad Pada: Tattva Bodha, Viveka Chudamani, Atma Bodha, Aparokshanubhuti, Vakya Vritti, Brahmanuchintanam, Prashnottara Ratna Malika, which is a very simple text in the form of question and answers, Advaita Anubhutihi, Swarupa Nirupanam, Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Sara Sangraha. It's a big work consisting of more than 1,000 shlokas. Prabodha Sudhakaram, another beautiful text. Advaita Pancharatnam, Swatma Prakashika, Nirvana Shatkam, Manisha Panchakam, Sadhana Panchakam, Kopina Panchakam. All these are Panchakam. Excellent Panchakams. Panchakam means a group of 5 verses. Panchakam. Dhanyashtakam, Ekashloki, Dashashloki, Shatashloki, Maya Panchakam, Prapanchasaram, Praudanabhutihi, and Bhajagovindam, Sadachara Anusandanam, Panchikaranam, Tattvopadesham. These are some of the text. The list is a huge one. Some of the important Prakarana Granthas of Shankara Bhagavad Pada. So starting from Ekashloki has got only one shloka, up to the text having 1,000 shlokas like Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Sara Sangraha. Shankara Bhagavad Pada had written a number of texts. Ekashloki means the text with only one shloka. In one shloka, the teaching of the Vedanta is presented. Why one shloka? Even with a half a shloka, Bhagavad Pada, he presents the central teaching of Vedanta. Shlokardhena pravakshyami yaduktam grantha kotivihi brahma satyam jagan mithya jivo brahmaiva naparaha. The second line of the shloka, Jivaha Brahmayeva, Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya, Jivaha Brahmayeva. This is the teaching of Vedanta, presented in just one line of the shloka, half a shloka. In just half a shloka, he says, Brahma is Satyam and the Jagat is Mithya, unreal. Jagat doesn't have independent existence. Therefore, Sarvam Brahmayeva, nothing other than Brahma. Thus, through all these works, Bhagavad Pada, he presents the teaching of the Shastram in a way which a sadhaka can easily understand, so that with that understanding, if he approaches the study of Shastram under a competent teacher, then the result, the Jnanam will be like the Asta Amalakavat. Like Asta Amalakavat, the Jnanam will be definite. Therefore, now I have selected verses from different texts and going to be presenting here as the topics of Vedanta as unfolded by Shankara Bhagavad Pada from different Prakarana Granthas, taking different shlokas, and the shloka will be presented in the order. So you can see the order of presentation. As I said before, every Grantha begins with a prayer. In the Upadesha Sagasri, Shankara Bhagavad Pada, it starts a text with the prayer. Prayer to the Chaitanyam, Vastu. Vastu, he offers a prayer. The prayer could be offered to Guru or Sampradaya or the Vastu. So, to Brahma, he offers a prayer. Chaitanyam sarvagam sarvam sarvabhuta guhashayam yat sarva vishayatitam tasmai sarvavide namaha. To Sarvavit, I offer my namaskara. To Sarvavit, to Ishvara, to Bhagavan, I offer my namaskara. He uses Chaitanyam Sarvagam Sarvam Sarvabhuta Guhashayam. That Chaitanyam, that Brahma, which is Guhashayam, which resides, which is in all the beings, and which is all knowledge, to that I offer my namaskara. Start the text with namaskara. Namaskara to Sarvavit. And in Viveka Chudamani also, which has got a Prarthana Shloka, Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam Tama Gocharam Govindam Paramanandam Sadgurum Pranamyaham. And this Prarthana Shloka, from this Prarthana Shloka, we can infer the Guru of Shankara Bhagavad Pada, Govinda Bhagavad Pada iti. And here, after offering Namaskara, then the text praises Manusya Janma Prashamsa it does. In the beginning itself, Jantunam Narajanma Durlabaha, saying that, and in the subsequent further verses, Shankara Bhagavad Pada says, Durlabham Trayame Vaitat Deva Anugraha Hetukam Manushyatvam Mumukshutvam Mahapurusha Samshrayaha. So Manusya Janma Prashamsa is the second topic. Unless we realize the importance of being a human being, then we will not attempt in effectively utilizing this life given by Bhagavan. Therefore, Prashamsa is done. Manusya Janma Prashamsa. Having taken Manusya Janma, then one has to pursue this knowledge. One has to pursue his knowledge. So by presenting the greatness of the birth of human being, the reader will be interested in reading it further. So therefore, Manusya Janma Prashamsa. And after that, you will find in the Prakarana Granthas, Anubandha Chatushtayam. Anubandha Chatushtayam would be the topic, either presented directly or indirectly. In the Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Sara Sangraha, it is clearly defined what is Anubandha Chatushtayam. The shloka itself is there. Adhikari cha vishayaha sambandhascha prayojanam shastrarambha phalam praguhu Anubandha Chatushtayam. It defines what Anubandha Chatushtayam itself. And after that, it further elaborates in detail. After Anubandha Chatushtayam, then what will be the topic? Generally in Prakarana Grantha, Sadhana Chatushtayam. First about the text, then about the person who will be engaged in reading the text. Therefore, Sadhana Chatushtayam, Adhikari, etc. will be mentioned. And in Aparokshanubhuti, it is nicely presented. Who is a adhikari? What is sadhana chatushtayam? Who is adhikari? Swavarnashrama tapasa haritoshanat sadhanam cha bhavet pumsam vairagyadi chatushtayam. So vairagyadi chatushtayam, viveka, vairagya, etc. The fourfold chatushtayam. That is the sadhanam bhavet pumsam. That is required for the sadhaka to pursue the study of this Vedanta and gain jnanam. And in the same text, the Vairagya is beautifully presented. What Vairagyam is. All these sadhana chatushtayams are described, and in particular, the Vairagyam, Brahmadhistavaranteshu, Vairagyam Vishayeshvanu, Yathaiva Kakavishtayam, Vairagyam Tadhi Nirmalam. Yata Kakavishtayam Prati. Kakavishta is the excrement of the kaka, the crow. With regard to that, how much dispassion or dislike you have. Similarly, you should have for the objects of the world, objects which are available for Boga Vishaya, Brahmadi Stavaranteshu, starting from the Surgaloka up to all this enjoyment of all the objects of the world. As much as you have the aversion or the dislike for the excrement of a crow, similarly, you should have that much vairagya. Here it is not aversion, as much you have. You don't kakavishta, with regard to kakavishta, as the attitude towards the kakavishta you have, so the attitude towards the bhoga vishaya of the world here and hereafter. That is vairagya. Similarly, other qualifications are also beautifully mentioned. In all the text you will find. In Aparokshanubhuti, it is presented like this. In many texts, Sadhana Chatushtayam, it is elaborately discussed. In Tattvabodha, it is presented in just a single line. Whereas in other texts, like Vivek Chudamani and Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Sara Sangraha and other texts, it is presented in detail. And in Atmabodha, it's another beautiful work by Shankara Bhagavad-pada. It explains every topic of Vedanta with an example, with a drishtanta. But it doesn't talk about sadhana chatushtayam, but it deals with many topics of Vedanta with a drishtanta, with an example, beautiful example. And there are some shlokas. There are some shlokas which induces the sadhakas to inquire into the nature of the reality by the negating the anitya vastu. There are some certain shlokas in Viveka Chudamani in other granthas. So that could be the next topic in the presentation of the teaching of Vedanta in the Prakarana Grantha. And this is done in this Charpata Panjarika Stotram. There Bhagavad-pada says, Kastvam koham kutaha yataha kame janani kome tataha iti paribhavaya sarvamasaram vishvam tyaktva swapna vicharam tatha kastvam koham kutaha ayataha kame janani, who is the mother, who is the father, from where did you come? So, inquiring into the nature, and then having inquired, then giving up the world after examining, one must engage in the study of the Shastra. Sarvam asaram iti paribhavaya, then engage in the study of Shastram to understand and know and be free. Therefore, the study of Shastram is important, and that is said very nicely in Sadachara Anusandhanam. Shastra Shavanam is said. Vedanta Shravanam Kuryat Mananam Cha Upapattibihi Yogena Vyasanam Nityam Tato Darshanam Atmanaha Iti. That is, Vedanta Shravanam Kuryat, Vedanta Shravanam to be done, and Mananam Upapattibihi. Then after that, Nityam Yogena Abhyasanam Nityam. That is Nididhyasanam. And the result will be Atma Darshanam. Atma Darshanam will be the result. Vedanta Shravanam itself will give Jnanam. If there are obstacles, it is further removed by Manana and Nididhyasana so that the Nishta will be there in Jnanam. That is presented. And now for the one who has gained this Jnanam, Atma Bodha says how the person will be. Samyak Vijnanavan Yogi Swatmanyevakilam Jagat Ekam cha sarvamatmanam ikshate jnana chakshusha. Now the person has gained knowledge and he has become a yogi. With the knowledge gained through the inquiry into the Shastram in the form of Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasanam, the person, the yogi, now with this knowledge, he sees the entire Jagat. He sees Akilam Jagat, the entire Jagat, as Swatmani, not separate from himself. Sarvam Atmanam iti, Sarvam Ekam Atmanam Ikshate. He sees everything as Brahma. This is the Palam, the Jnana, the Palam. Atmai Vedam Jagat Sarvam Atmanon Yatra Vidyate Vrido Yadvat Gatadhini Swatmanam Sarvam Ikshate. This entire Jagat is Atma, Brahma. It is not separate from Brahma. Nothing exists apart from Brahma. Parts, etc., they are not different from clay. Similarly, there exists nothing other than Atma. There exists nothing other than Atma for the one who sees it. Sarvam Atmanam iti ikshate. The one who sees, the one who has got jnanam, he sees. For him, the vision is everything is the Brahma. As presented by the Chandogya, Vacharambanam Vikaro Namadeyam Vritiketyeva Satyam. And after gaining this vision, then the person is a yogi, he becomes a free person. He becomes a free person while living. Jivan Muktaha. Jivan Muktaha Bhavati. Tirtva Maharnavam Hatva Ragadveshadi Rakshasan Yogi Shanta Samayuktaha Atma Ramo Virajate. Nicely presented in same Tattva Bodha. Maharnavam Tirtva. Maha Arnava, having crossed the ocean, the samsara sagara, having crossed it. Ragadveshadi Rakshasan Hatva, having killed the Rakshasa. Rakshasa or Ragadvesha, these are the Rakshasas. Having killed them means neutralized them. Having neutralized them, then this person, yogi, is Shanta Samayuktaha, the one who is at home, who is at peace with himself. Atma Ramo Virajate, he revels in Atma. The one who revels in Atma is gaining this jnanam. The one who revels in oneself, Saga, Jivan Mukta, is Jivan Mukta. While living is free, and after death there is no Janma for him. Punarjanma na vidyate. And he becomes Muktaha. Iti, these topics are beautifully presented, and I selected few important nice verses from different Prakarana Grantha to present the teaching of the Shastra. So with this we conclude this session. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ